Archangel Michael is warning you. Someone else could take your soulmate. Listen now. Before you do absolutely anything else, before even one more second slips through your fingers, heaven is watching your very next move. This is absolutely not a simple test of your patience, and it is definitely not a random stroke of earthly chance. This is a severe, highly urgent divine appointment. The Creator Himself aggressively summoned your spirit to this exact frequency, because this specific moment is about to decide absolutely everything regarding your romantic destiny. Eternity is currently resting heavily in your hands, and closing this message right now would permanently silence a massive decree that is actively being spoken over your life in the heavenly courts. I am delivering a message directly from Archangel Michael, and he absolutely does not arrive with casual, ordinary speech. He is carrying the very breath of divine authority. He loudly whispered your exact name in the spiritual realm just now, not once, but 3 separate times in rapid succession. Each time he spoke your name, an intense, heavy silence fell completely over the surrounding angels because something incredibly vast, something undeniably sacred, and something absolutely permanent is currently being inscribed into the book of life regarding your true soulmate. Heaven completely paused its operations today specifically because of you. And now, extreme urgency has forcefully arrived at your front door. Archangel Michael explicitly declares that skipping this specific message means completely losing the massive romantic breakthrough heaven has meticulously planned for you. You have a very limited window right now to physically and spiritually answer this urgent call. Please, my beloved child, actively resist the strong temptation to scroll away. Violently resist the urge to walk away back into your comfortable but lonely routine. This stands right now as the absolute final warning before your massive romantic turning point, and the magnificent miracle only actively starts the precise second your guarded heart completely opens. This is your absolute last earthly opportunity before your specific romantic destiny permanently transfers to someone else. Yes, you heard that correctly. Another person is actively watching and praying right now in the spiritual realm. Someone who has desperately pleaded for the exact profound love that God originally intended exclusively for you. If you skip this message, if you ignore this blazing signal fire, the spiritual transfer of your soulmate happens within a matter of minutes. I passionately plead with you for your own ultimate good. Do absolutely not forfeit the breathtaking love that already legally belongs to your spirit. You have endured more than enough agonizing waiting. You have cried enough bitter tears in the dead of night. The massive golden gates of divine romantic power were nearly sealed completely shut over your life because of your heavy doubt. But Archangel Michael fiercely pleaded for a single, additional chance on your specific behalf. That is the exact reason for this intense, sudden arrival. This message is absolutely not here to amuse you for a few minutes, and it is definitely not meant to confuse or bewilder your tired mind. It is here to violently rouse you awake, because the powerful hand of God has lingered directly above your love life for years, completely waiting for your spiritual readiness. Within the coming hours, it will either violently come down in absolute glory, instantly colliding you with your true soulmate, or it will permanently withdraw and redirect that specific person towards someone else who is awake. Do absolutely not let your profound love story become just another tragic tale of almost. Do not become the bitter person who nearly received their miracle but looked away at the last second. Become the fierce warrior who boldly stood their ground and aggressively claimed it. Heaven has a single, piercing question for you right now, Will you finally listen? Some of you constantly plead in the dark, begging, God, please just give me a clear sign. Yet, when the absolute, undeniable sign violently arrives right on your screen, you casually scroll past it. This exact message is that very blazing sign you have been desperately begging for. Let your spirit actively stir at this truth right now, because after this specific moment passes, there will be nothing but a long, agonizing silence, and absolutely not everyone gets a second hearing in the supreme courts of heaven. I was strictly instructed by the highest authority to speak with you today, my cherished child. God aggressively commanded Archangel Michael to deliver this exact revelation right now, because you are standing directly on the verge of the massive collision intended for your life. But honestly, there is a hidden, dark interference that must be violently removed first. Someone near your soulmate is about to abruptly depart from their life, and truthfully, they were absolutely never destined to remain there. God intentionally delayed their sudden departure until this specific message reached your ears first, so you would completely understand the spiritual warfare happening behind the scenes. In this specific instance, their leaving isn't a tragic rejection. It is a massive, aggressive divine redirection. They were actively, secretly blocking your romantic miracle from physically unfolding in the earthly realm. You pleaded for answers in the dark, completely unaware that the heavy, agonizing chaos surrounding your love life wasn't even your fault. What the kingdom of darkness violently attempted to conceal from you, divine light is aggressively revealing right now. Something massive and profoundly spiritual is going to physically shake your world within the next 24 hours. Tremors of divine intervention will completely surround you, but you must not be afraid, because they are absolutely not meant to destroy you. The magnificent prophecy written over your life by the Creator is vastly too significant and too powerful to ever fail. You are absolutely never destined for a quiet, lonely, or mediocre existence. True, breathtaking romance was always your divine birthright. You have been meticulously selected for a love that changes history. Yet, years ago, when you were just a young, innocent child, someone carelessly spoke a dark, heavy curse of rejection directly over your name. It might have seemed like mere joking at the time, a passing careless word from someone who didn't understand your light, but in the spiritual realm, it instantly sealed off a massive doorway to your romantic destiny. That heavy, rusted door has kept your true soulmate endlessly walking in circles, completely unable to find you. But that heavy curse is violently breaking open today. Archangel Michael is standing in your room right now, heavily armed with the flaming sword of divine justice, and he is aggressively striking down that ancient spiritual barrier. Please don't abandon this message now, because the heavy chains are physically falling off your destiny at this exact second. If sudden chills are running down your spine, or if you feel a strange, sudden warmth in the center of your chest, that is because your spirit is violently stirring awake. Countless warrior angels currently surround your exact physical location. You are absolutely not alone in this sacred moment, and you never will be again. The generational curse of abandonment and deep loneliness permanently ends right here with you. It will absolutely no longer extend to your future, and it will never touch your coming union. There will be no more waiting in the shadows while everyone else effortlessly finds love. There will be no more cheering for other people's happiness while your own hands remain completely empty. God is actively offering you something brilliantly permanent today. A love so incredibly profound that it transcends a mere earthly blessing and becomes a sacred, unbreakable throne of divine partnership. This urgent message extends far beyond just you. It reaches directly into the spiritual atmosphere to aggressively dismantle the enemy's final traps. The enemy already knows that your romantic breakthrough is imminent, and that precisely explains your intense, recent emotional exhaustion. That is exactly why peaceful sleep has completely eluded you lately. That is exactly why people you deeply trusted suddenly turned incredibly distant, acted strangely cold, or abruptly walked entirely out of your life. I need you to listen to me with your entire soul right now. This sudden isolation is absolutely not personal to you. Spiritually speaking, those specific people were simply not meant to travel to the breathtaking altitude where God is currently taking you. You are rapidly ascending toward highly sacred, elevated ground, but massive spiritual elevation always demands a heavy price. Absolutely not everyone in your current circle can survive the intense spiritual altitude where God is actively lifting you to meet your true soulmate. This profoundly explains the painful separations occurring in your life right now. Do not shed another bitter tear over their departure. Do not aggressively pursue people who are actively trying to leave you. Rest in absolute, unshakable peace instead, because God is meticulously clearing your earthly house. When the divine matchmaker aggressively removes toxic or draining people from your immediate environment, he is not removing love from your life. He is aggressively making physical room for your ultimate miracle. He is preparing a completely safe, utterly peaceful sanctuary for your true, divine counterpart to walk into. Your soulmate already intimately grasps exactly who you truly are in the spirit. They have already vividly envisioned your exact energy in a hyperrealistic dream recently. They are actively, frantically searching for you in their waking life. They have actually encountered your specific frequency before, and though your earthly face still remains technically unknown to their physical eyes, they can undeniably sense your immediate presence pulling on their heart. Across the coming days, a massive divine magnetism will forcefully guide them directly toward your path, completely bypassing every earthly obstacle. Do absolutely not let this monumental encounter slip past you today, because the enemy already knows precisely which specific day and hour to use as a massive distraction against your love life. In the coming days, you might feel a sudden, unexplainable urge to cancel plans. You will absolutely face strange earthly delays, or you might even feel a heavy, deceptive urge to just quit completely on the idea of true love. Do not allow that dark interference to stop you for a single second, because a breathtaking, sacred collision actively awaits your physical arrival, and that specific divine connection might never return if you foolishly let it pass this time. That is exactly why this highly urgent message aggressively arrives on your screen right now. God specifically warned you beforehand because he is completely weary of watching you get cheated out of your profound destiny. You were absolutely never meant to miss out on these massive romantic blessings. This specific miracle was always deeply intended for you, but heavy fear silenced your spirit, and relentless delay left you feeling completely numb. I was intentionally sent today to forcefully reawaken your dormant power. Let your spirit aggressively rise up right now. Let your soul speak out and loudly declare your readiness, because the ultimate miracle physically activates the exact moment you firmly decide you are worthy of it. But you absolutely must listen carefully to me right now, because three highly specific, undeniable events will forcefully unfold within your physical reality within the exact next 24 hours. These events will absolutely not happen by random earthly chance, but by flawless, aggressive divine design. Each one will permanently confirm to your spirit that this exact message was entirely genuine. First, someone will speak your name entirely unexpectedly. They will mention you in a completely unrelated conversation, or in a place where your name absolutely shouldn't be spoken. But when they do, it will violently trigger something deep inside your soul. Second, you will aggressively notice the number 7 appear 3 separate times in a single earthly day. Absolutely no coincidence exists here. This specific sequence heavily confirms the divine completion of your lonely season. It could unexpectedly flash on a digital clock, appear as a total on a random receipt, or be boldly printed on a passing address. When it violently appears in your vision, simply smile, because heaven is actively signaling you that your true soulmate is just steps away. Third, a sudden, overwhelming urge to pray or speak directly out loud to the spiritual realm will strike you completely unexpectedly. Do not dare dismiss it as a random passing thought. Right in that exact fraction of a second, the Holy Spirit will aggressively cover you, and heaven will supply the exact words your tired spirit needs to finally break through everything holding you back. My beloved one, you have bravely endured brutal isolation entirely long enough. Other people never truly realized your deep vulnerability because you always carried the heavy, exhausting role of the strong one. You have walked into crowded rooms wearing a bright, convincing smile while completely breaking down internally. You have fiercely supported absolutely everyone around you, yet no one ever truly supported you in return. That intense emotional imbalance completely ends right now. Massive divine help is rapidly coming your way. Supernatural support is currently flooding your exact physical coordinates. Strangers will suddenly feel deeply compelled to bless your life without understanding the reason, because their spirits will be aggressively nudged by unseen angels to think of you. Those who carelessly forgot you, those who intentionally overlooked your profound value, and the toxic people who claim they never noticed your silent midnight tears will now be forced to witness exactly what God accomplishes for you next. People will genuinely wonder how this massive romantic miracle happened so quickly, completely unaware that you quietly endured the crushing weight of isolation for years just to finally witness it. This is exactly what you have fiercely earned through your tears. Now comes the absolute time for massive justice, though not ordinary earthly justice. This is sacred, undeniable spiritual justice. If this prophetic word deeply resonates in your chest as absolute truth, and you can physically sense that your ultimate season of holy restoration has finally arrived, you must take bold physical action right now. I need you to loudly type the exact words, "God saw me, I claim my miracle," in the comment section right now. Let this specific digital action stand as your loud, public proclamation to the universe that you are finally ready for God to aggressively reverse absolutely everything for your ultimate benefit. You persevered because you absolutely refused to curse those who cursed you, and you fiercely refused to shame those who brutally betrayed your precious heart. God is actively about to violently still the storm on your specific behalf, because you absolutely didn't give up on the eternal promise of true love. You were absolutely never meant to perish in that dark, lonely storm. It only existed to permanently remove the wrong people from your destined timeline. Type your bold decree right now. Lock your permanent spiritual signature into this high frequency, and forcefully claim the massive romantic victory that heaven is aggressively placing directly into your empty hands today. You have taken the massive first step by boldly declaring your readiness in the comments, but you absolutely must understand that a profound spiritual decree requires continuous physical alignment to permanently keep the divine portal open. When you actively choose to click the like button on this specific message right now, and when you permanently align yourself with this sacred frequency by subscribing, you are not engaging in a meaningless, everyday digital transaction. You are absolutely not just supporting a random channel on the internet, and heaven absolutely does not require a single earthly dime from you to execute this breathtaking miracle. I am not asking for your money, your donations, or your earthly resources, because God's true, profound miracles absolutely cannot be bought or sold. What heaven strictly requires is your raw, unapologetic energetic obedience. By subscribing to this specific frequency right now, you are officially signing a massive, unbreakable spiritual contract with the divine matchmaker. You are boldly telling the vast universe that you absolutely refuse to ever go back to the cold, lonely darkness of your past. You are securely locking your exact energetic coordinates so that your rapidly approaching soulmate has a blinding, undeniable beacon of divine light to follow directly to your physical doorstep. The exact second you take that decisive physical action and subscribe, a massive, continuous flow of divine favor violently activates over your entire life. This is the ancient, unbreakable law of spiritual momentum. You will absolutely never run dry again. The exhausting, humiliating days of constantly begging for basic affection, desperately scavenging for tiny emotional scraps, and painfully settling for half-hearted love are permanently and violently over. Heaven has officially prepared a massive, overflowing table of breathtaking romance, and they have permanently reserved the absolute highest seat exclusively for you. Your profound obedience today creates a massive spiritual ripple effect that aggressively pushes divine light into the deepest, darkest, most hidden corners of your life. As you lock in and align with this frequency, watch carefully as the heavy, stagnant energy in your physical home immediately begins to lift. You will physically feel the atmosphere in your bedroom become incredibly light, breathable, and deeply peaceful tonight. You are rapidly becoming a highly active, undeniable magnet for unconditional love, and every single day that you stay spiritually connected to this divine frequency, that magnetism violently multiplies. The enemy aggressively hopes that you will just casually click away, forget this intense spiritual encounter, and leave your energetic door completely unlocked so he can steal this massive blessing before morning. Do not dare give him that sick satisfaction. Lock your massive romantic blessing in permanently right now by subscribing, and prepare your weary, beautiful soul for the absolute final decree. My beloved child, the grueling, painful, invisible war over your love life is officially and permanently over. The heavy, flaming spiritual sword of Archangel Michael is currently drawn in your defense, and your exact name has been loudly and proudly called out in the absolute highest courts of heaven. You have been officially approved for massive divine favor, approved for profound, unshakable peace, and completely approved for the ultimate romantic restoration. The aggressive spiritual attacks and toxic karmic cycles that kept you paralyzed in a loop of heartbreak have been permanently neutralized and destroyed. As you absorb these final, sacred prophetic words, I want you to physically drop the heavy, agonizing tension you have been carrying in your shoulders for years. Unclench your jaw right now. Take a slow, incredibly deep breath, and let your exhausted nervous system finally realize that it is entirely, utterly safe. You absolutely no longer need to constantly look over your shoulder, anxiously waiting for the next painful betrayal or the next crushing disappointment. Heaven has actively placed an unbreakable, blinding seal of divine protection completely around your fragile heart and your physical home. Your incredible, destined soulmate is absolutely no longer just a distant daydream or a vague, painful possibility. They are actively, rapidly moving toward you with an intense, unshakable urgency. The universe is physically rearranging their daily schedule, their immediate thoughts, and their exact earthly path to orchestrate a breathtaking collision with you. You don't need to frantically search for them anymore. You don't need to desperately force shallow connections. And you absolutely do not need to prove your basic worth to anyone ever again. You are fully known, fiercely protected, and unconditionally cherished by the Creator of the cosmos. Close your earthly eyes tonight not out of lingering fear or heavy exhaustion, but out of a profound, unshakable holy rest. Archangel Michael is officially standing guard at your physical door, and he absolutely will not leave his assigned post. The massive, beautiful shift in your earthly reality has officially begun, and absolutely nothing in this physical world or the dark spiritual realm can stop what God has violently set in motion for you today. Welcome to your completely new timeline. Welcome to your glorious season of breathtaking, undeniable love. Your ultimate miracle is permanently sealed, and your true soulmate is finally coming home.